Hey, sir.
Hey, man.
Do me a favor, man. Come this way.
Whoa.
Put your hand behind your back.
Hands down my back. You got it.
The man that you just watched get arrested in that footage is actually the director of the blockbuster film Black Panther. His name is Ryan Coogler, and he was just trying to withdraw some cash from his account until a teller assumed that he was actually trying to rob the bank and called the cops on him. And so he ended up getting arrested. Before we look at more of the footage, I do want to give you some more information, some more context about this situation. Coogler was detained and handcuffed after he went to Bank of America to make a transaction on January 7th, according to the Atlanta police. The 35-year-old director, who was wearing a hat, sunglasses, and a COVID face mask, went to the counter and handed the bank teller a withdrawal slip with the note written on the back that reportedly said, "I would like to withdraw $12,000 cash from my checking account. Please do the money count somewhere else. I'd like to be discreet." So let's pause for a second. If you're withdrawing a big sum of money like that in cash, understandably, you don't want people around you to hear that you're withdrawing that amount of money in cash. I mean, this is something my dad taught me since I was a kid. Like, don't count your money, period, in front of other people. Like, it's just not a good idea.
Literally happened to me today. I going to Vegas over the weekend, so I withdrew some money, nothing like what he withdrew, and I was nervous about it. Like, as they're handing me the money, imagine $12,000. Like, okay, let's count it out in front of everybody, right? So he hands him a note. But guys, this is so easy. He says, "Can you get it from my account?" Well, does he have an account or doesn't he? Why are you arresting him without checking to see if he has an account?
Yeah.
You guys, do you see how deep-seated the racist assumptions are? I don't know if that teller is like some weirdo, random, like vicious racist. No, she just sees a black man. Well, he's wearing a mask. We're all wearing masks. This is during COVID, right? And he says, "Can you get money from my account?" "Oh, you're right. Sure you do." Okay, arrest him.
So let me give you more information about what happened. So according to Variety, the teller misinterpreted the situation as an attempted robbery when the amount of the transaction exceeded $10,000 and triggered an alert notification from Coogler's bank account. The teller then informed her boss that she suspected it was a robbery attempt, and together they called the police. 4 Atlanta Police Department officers arrived at the scene and detained 2 of Coogler's colleagues who were waiting for him outside the bank in a car with the engine running. And so we have body cam footage of not just of Coogler in custody, but he's trying to explain to the cops what's going on, so they let him go. Let's watch.
It's a medical assistant that works in my house that prefers to be paid in cash. Every time I make a withdrawal to pay her, because it's a large amount, she works a lot.
Yeah.
If I don't write down on a note how much I want out, and then I don't want it ran through the money counter right there at the desk, the whole bank ends up looking at me because they just hear the money going through the account, and I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe getting money out like that. So every time I go to withdraw it, I put the amount, the account I want it taken out of, and I put my own card in, and then they usually take. I always just get the money from me.
Honestly, that video is so devastating to watch. Like, it's insulting.
Yeah.
Like, he's handcuffed. He has to explain to them what he's doing. I mean, it's pretty sick. Now, after verifying his identity and his bank account, the officers released him and his colleagues, and he explains to the cops what happened at the counter. We have that video. Do you want to go to that first, Jake?
No, I just want to comment on that video we just saw, because so many in the black community and otherwise took tremendous pride that a movie about black empowerment did so well. And for so long, Hollywood wouldn't make movies with black stars or about black people because they thought, oh, well, that's not gonna sell. And it turned out it sold spectacularly. It was such a great success. He was nominated for an Oscar, but it doesn't matter. And that's what's so dispiriting. It just doesn't matter. So LeBron James buys a house in LA, they write the N-word all over the gate. And so a lot of times when black people are pulled over, they'll make the excuse of, well, it's the socioeconomic conditions. They weren't treated that way because they were black. They were treated that way because they're poor. But now here are rich black folks, and they're like, well, he was withdrawing so much money, and he had a couple of people waiting for him in the car because he's wealthy. Well, so you can't win. You can't win if you're poor and black. You can't win if you're rich and black. And I can't believe how calm he was. If it was me, I'd be screaming, do I have a goddamn bank account here or don't I? Go inside, check my goddamn account, and release me right now. Are you people insane?
You want him to get loud? You want him to get loud with the cops? I mean, we've seen how that plays out.
I know, and he can't because then they'll murder you. It's maddening, it's maddening.
Look, but honestly, Cenk, like, let me just say, I don't think the cops were in the wrong here, okay? The cops showed up after the bank teller and her boss alleged that there was a robber in the bank.
No, I hear you completely. On the bank, on the cops acting rashly, if he does get loud, that's just a general thing across the country, and you're putting your life in your, you're risking your life if you're black or brown, but mainly black. If you do what I said and like rightfully argue for your rights in front of cops, that you run a risk of being killed, right? So, but in this case, the real problem is before he gets handcuffed. Anna's right. The bank teller, and the manager, idiot of idiots, check to see if he has an account. He just asked for $12,000 out of his own account. Why are you assuming every black person is a robber? Jesus Christ, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, I mean, just if you, I mean, he like, you'd have to input and provide your account information to withdraw the money. If there's any suspicion that the person withdrawing the money isn't the person who owns the account, ask for ID. Like, I just don't, it didn't need to get to this point, right? So it's pretty sick. And by the way, it's amazing. I mean, even after everything they put him through, he was insanely gracious about the situation. He says the situation should have never happened. However, Bank of America worked with me and addressed it to my satisfaction, and we've moved on.
It would have addressed it to my satisfaction if they gave him $1 million, okay? Then I'll move on, right? But look, kidding aside, I don't know the motivations of the manager and the teller at all, and I don't know their identity at all, right? I just know that systemically, in this country, we've put it into that poison into people's heads, into everybody's heads, white, black, brown, it doesn't matter, Asian, it doesn't matter. That, hey, if it's a black person, they're suspicious. And that is so heartbreakingly unfair. And guys, if you're a right winger or you're white right winger, we're just asking you to have a tiny bit of empathy. And I know it didn't happen to you, so you think like, well, that doesn't sound right. It didn't happen to me. It didn't happen to anyone I know. I can't believe it. But there it is on video. It does happen because they look different than you. Can you just be human for a second and have your heart go out to them so that we could all fix this together? It's not too much to ask for. Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.